In this problem, we are told that in a recent year, the Better Business Bureau settled 75% of complaints that they received. We're also told a little bit later on that we can assume that the population proportion of complaints settled for the computer stores here in this problem is 0.75. So we're being given a population proportion here. What we want to do is say, suppose that we have a sample size of 181. What is the probability that the sample proportion of that size will be 5 or more percent below the population proportion? So before we do anything with any technology over here, let's take a look at some of the calculations we need to do in order to input the correct information over here in the technology. So what I have here is the sample proportion given to us of 0.75 and our sample size of 181. Now keep in mind that because we're being asked for the probability about a sample, then we're now looking at the distribution of the sample proportions. And therefore we need to find the standard deviation of the sampling distribution. So we use this familiar formula, hopefully it's familiar to you, where we plug in P into the formula and also plug in 181. And when I do this calculation and then round to 4 decimal places, I get 0.0322. So that's the standard deviation of the sampling distribution. We're asked about the probability that the sample proportion will be 5 or more percent below the proportion. So if I take 5% away from the population proportion, I get 0.70. And so we're asked for the probability that this sample is 5% or below. So anything to the left of this p hat equals 0.7. So we're looking for the probability that our sample here is here in this part of the normal distribution graph. So we have everything we need. We know from theory that the center of that sampling distribution is P itself. So we can go over here and say the mean or the center of that distribution is 0.75. The standard deviation rounded to 4 decimal places we found to be 0.0322. And we're trying to figure out the probability that we're 5% or below, or anything less than 0.7. So what is the probability that x, our sample proportion, is less than 0.7? And we do a quick calculation. You can see that the result is 0.0602, and that matches exactly what we expect here in WAMAP. All right, hope that was helpful.